Okay, so now we've gone from the approach into the linking statement. Now we start a conversation. We are asking these open-ended questions now. We've asked things like, what's your favorite movies? What do you like? What's your passions? Whatever those questions that you asked for. And now how do we listen? What do we do while the girl's talking? Okay, so while she's talking, you're going to do what I call active listening. Active listening is different than maybe just sitting there and listening to the words. Okay, I'm going to give you some techniques for this. So first of all, how to respond. They found that if you don't do anything and someone's talking, you just stare. They found that shows a person that people may think that you're not really listening to them if you're not giving any response. They found that more people responded much better when you slightly or slowly nodded your head, or gave some kind of indication that you were listening to someone, or things like, okay, oh yeah, huh, oh cool. Oh, that's cool. All right. See how I do that? So I'm like, so what's your biggest passion? And she's like, oh, I love traveling. I just got back from the Caribbean, and we had this crazy party. And at that point, I can be like, oh yeah. And she's like, and we did that. We saw. My friend got on a jet ski and was like riding around. Oh. Cool. I'm not being overly nice when I do it. I'm not like, oh yeah? Oh wow. Oh geez. Oh, that's cool. You're not going overboard with it. You're doing it in almost a cocky way. It's like, oh yeah? Oh. Oh yeah? That's cool. Kind of like she's trying to sell you. Almost like if someone was trying to sell you how you would act. You wouldn't act overly eager. You'd be like, all right, tell me more. Huh. Okay? That's kind of the attitude I want you to have when she's talking. I know you're thinking, well, yeah, but Dave, if I don't show her I'm like super interested, she's going to stop. No. If you show her you're super interested, she might stop because you're going to creep her out. If you're like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Oh, tell me more. Oh, wow, I'm really interested. Oh, yeah? I mean, don't get me wrong. There's times where I'll be like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah? Oh, wow. You did that? But I'm more relaxed when I say it. Still saying it in kind of a cocky fashion. It's not going overboard when I do it. Okay. So the other thing about active listening is I want you to pay attention to the little details that she talks about. So if she's like, I went to a friend's house. Her name was Betty, and we did all these things. And Betty had this cat, and its name was Garfield, whatever it is. I don't have a story planned out on this, so you're gonna have to just bear with me. I'm making it up on the spot. So and you're like, she tells this big long story about the cat, and you're like, oh, so what ended up happening to Garfield, or where did Betty go? Or you mentioned a small detail in the story that wasn't like a main part of the story, but it was like a small detail. She's like, wow, this guy really listens. He's a good listener. He pays attention. People are impressed by that because you're putting the effort into, you're doing probably more than like 99 out of 100 people do. Most people are just like, yeah, okay, yeah, and they're just like yelping to death as they're talking, not really listening. But when you really listen and you pick up on that stuff, that's going to impress her. And especially if she says something that reveals something about herself, and later on in the conversation you bring it up, you're like, hey, earlier you were talking about how you love pineapple. I know this great place down the street that has pineapple ice cream. You want to check it out with me? It's like, boom. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to get that date, or pretty good chance at it, right? She's like, wow, how the heck did you remember that I like pineapple? Okay? Girls love this stuff, that you can remember little details like that when they're talking, okay? And it shows that you care, it shows you're a gentleman, and it shows you're socially mature with people, because that's what mature social people do, is they listen to other people and they pay attention because they know the other person is important, and it's not just like you're in it for you. If your intentions the whole time are just to sleep with this girl, or you don't care or anything, and she's talking and you're like, blah, 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 yeah, blah, 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 and that's all you hear, she's gonna pick up on that. It'll be subtle, but you're gonna show that you're not really listening to her. And And eventually she's gonna be like, this guy doesn't really care. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. He's not really interested in me. Okay? So be interested. Don't be overly interested. Don't be like fake or ingenuine. Okay? But pick up on those small details. Be a little bit cocky with the answers. Acknowledge when she's talking. You don't have to say it every 5 seconds. Don't be like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? But if she's like, oh, the coolest thing happened to me today, I'd be like, oh yeah? What happened? Oh yeah? That's it. And this, again, this stuff sounds like this is it. That's all you do. Yeah, that's it. Do it all day long. And there's nothing crazy about it, okay? So then you just practice that. Next thing is, guys, one thing I found that they do, if a woman has problems, they try to solve her problems. Okay, and especially when you first meet a girl, don't try to be her counselor or try to solve her problems or any of that stuff. All that's going to do is just be like, oh great, you're like every other guy who wants to try to solve my problems. Men, we like advice. If I tell my problems to another guy, it's because I'm searching for advice. Women aren't like that. Women sometimes just need to get things out. We're going to talk about this more in section 2. We talk about how the female mind is different, but sometimes women just want to vent, okay? So if they're like, oh, so frustrated right now. The worst thing happened. Don't be like this. Oh, are you okay? Oh, honey, what happened? Okay? She'll instantly put you in the friend zone. And that's it. Because you're not a confident man. You don't really understand what's going on, and she knows that. Even though you think that's what she wants, I promise you it's not. I've been around women my whole life, and that is not what they want. But if she goes, oh, I'm so frustrated, the worst thing just happened. And you're like, oh yeah, what happened? I couldn't find the right shoes at Walmart. Now you might not even know this, because if you're like, oh honey, what happened? And she's like, I couldn't find the right shoes at Walmart. Don't you kind of feel stupid now? You got a little carried away trying to, console her and everything. And all it was is she couldn't find the right shoes. So she knows she's being over dramatic. That's just how women are. They talk like that and they get excited. So if you're just like, oh yeah, what happened? And you're just waiting. She's like, I couldn't find the right shoe size at Walmart. They didn't have my shoes. Like, oh man, that's a catastrophe. And I'll kind of mess with her a little bit. And she'll be like, oh, shut up. And she'll be like, you're a jerk. And I'll be like, well, I'm glad you like it. Okay. Now I'm showing you some techniques that we're going to talk about later in the course. And you may not understand this stuff yet, but you will by the time we're done, and how effective and important it is, okay? And I'm not telling you to be a jerk, okay? I'm telling you how to be a good guy who's attractive and confident, okay? Women don't like guys who are ingenuine. Everything I'm doing is genuine. It makes sense. It's how your normal reaction would be, okay? But being ingenuine and being overly nice is not authentic. It's fake, and you're not showing the woman your real you. You're actually being manipulative if you come off in an ingenuine fashion. If you're being overly nice and you're like, oh, honey, oh, what happened? And you're doing all this stuff, that's not really real. That's not how you feel inside, and she knows that, okay? So don't be like that. Now, if she's like, oh, my dog just died, yes, then it's time to be like, oh, man, I'm really sorry about that, about your dog. I'm sure you really loved him. That's a totally different ball game, okay? I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about if she's overly dramatic about something, just a general topic, that doesn't call for Mr. Nice Guy to come in and save the day. All it calls for you to give the active listening, just be like, oh yeah? What happened? Or, oh, well, cool, tell me about it. Oh, something happened amazing today. I can't wait to tell you about it. And you're like, oh, really? I want to know. It's weird. It's too ingenuine. So instead, be like, all right, well, what is this? Jeez, you're excited. Okay. I hope you're learning something here from this. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to keep it fun with the girl and not get into any negative topics. So let's talk about that next. See you in the next video.